How you doing? Dancehall Neil coming to you live and direct. It's been a while. I'm back. Hopefully that can't tell what that looks like right now. We're gonna fucking hope it looks good though. Alright. Well, haven't been over here for a little while. We got a couple episodes I really want to do. Record store's going great. I have not recorded a video there yet because I'm a slacker. And I've had plenty of opportunity to do it, but you know, I'll say I'll do it tomorrow, and then a million things will come up when I'm there. But you know, N&E LPs and CDs, Lockman Street. We're in our 4th month, and we're doing it. Today, this episode is about Spotify. And I wanted to do an episode about Spotify just because I haven't, I mentioned it early on that we were going to be talking about music in all medias, you know, records, CDs, cassettes, you know, MP3s, CDRs, digital, streaming, you know, so I'm just going to try to dive into it, and I do use a free version of Spotify, just because I don't use it that much, but I do use it, especially on those long car rides, if like my wife is driving or something like that, or if I'm like with like friends or family that don't really use, like if I'm with my cousin, his truck's gonna have, I mean, you're using his phone, you're using my phone. That's what you got. And like if we're heading up north or something, you know, I mean, we could be driving an hour or two and we want to hear some music. So this episode is about my Spotify and what's on there, what I like to listen to when I'm on there. So I was able to pull it up on my desktop here, and which I've actually, I don't think I've ever done that on my desktop, but on the desktop, when I first open it, it's on playlists, which is, I have the complete Sun Records singles, which is cool. It's great to be able to like check that out. That was really fun. I got old school reggaeton playlist. And then I have Dancehall Hits of 2020, which I actually made, by the way. Really proud of that. Not that many people followed it, but you know, it's called Dancehall Hits 2020. I don't know. I thought it was fun. Let's go to some of my albums, I guess we'll go to. There's some singles on here, but I think they're largely albums. And I'm going to talk about, I'm just going to talk about some of my favorites and why they're on there, why I chose to have them on here, and I don't know where to even start. We'll just start with some of the few things that I've added here. One, Tommy by The Who. I really like that album. There's a double record set. At the record store, we did get that record in. Is where we heard it. I don't know. I want to say for the first time. That's when I heard it for the first time fully. Well, not fully because it was missing a record. It was 2 record set. But if we get a record in at the record store that's damaged, or I mean, if we can play it all the way through, if it's scratched up too much, or it's missing a cover, or the cover's like roached, and we like it, we'll keep it. We'll keep it back. We have a shop collection in the office that we keep. I have my rack, and then my partner has his rack. And so Tommy is one of the records that I have. I also recently got a copy where the cover's really messed up. It's The Who's selections from Tommy. So we're listening to these like a week ago. Me and our buddy Justin, who works there, part-time, and I was just like, I'm putting it on my Spotify. I don't know. I hear the whole thing just all the way through, because I'm not gonna buy it, because I already have these records, these Tommy records by the Who, and I think it's, I don't know. I was like, I'm putting it on my Spotify, so we'll start with that. That's why that's on there. Here's a Jamaican artist named Skang. It's weird because he's got some. Don't play nothing. I don't want to get a copyright infringement. Okay, let's settle down. He's got some compilations on here. One's called Skang. It's Millennium King. There's one with Skang and Converse, Fadabad. And then Skang's Outrageous. Now, I haven't seen those even for sale, or I'd buy them. I haven't seen them. Usually I buy a lot of digital downloads from Amazon Music. Usually I'll just buy the singles or digital EPs, if that's the only way I have to do it. And that's largely Jamaican music, is largely, not mostly where I'm getting them, but I will get them from some of the bigger artists. Usually bigger artists like Vibes Cartel, Squash, Intense, Iwata, and Skilly Bang is generally where I'm going to get them. Just because they're big enough artists to get them from there, and they're not small enough to where I could, talk to the artist directly. Because I do talk to a lot of Jamaican artists directly, and just see if I can work with them. I mean, and I've been doing that since 2010. So that's cool. That and like I said, I guess they're Spotify exclusives. If you can look that up and tell me I'm wrong, please do. But it reminds me of another album, and I'm already screwing this up again because I can't navigate on here. There's an Albert Eiler compilation on here, switching from modern dancehall to free jazz. If you want to call Albert Eiler free jazz, we will for this conversation here. But let's see what it's called, because this one was a confusing one. This is where I learned about Spotify exclusives. It's going to be with this album. Not that long after I started kind of messing around with Spotify. Now, messing around with Spotify, my friend Jordan just put it on my phone, which is kind of how I got into Facebook. My friend Justin just kind of put it on my computer, and it's like, here you go. And now, of course, I'm going to mess around with it once it's there. I mean, it's free. Alright, what? Here it is. This is Ghosts from Albert Eiler. And please don't play, because I'm not trying to fucking do that. Okay. I don't know. I'll show it. Because, I mean, the cover is just cool looking, too. And this is, I guess, this compilation is from 2016. There's 42 songs. It goes 4 hours and 46 minutes. Albert Eiler Ghosts. Pretty cool, huh? Now, I'll tell you about this one. And I didn't know anything about Spotify exclusives, but this does seem to be like a Spotify exclusive. I mean, if this, I looked for this box set for months and months, and I just, man, dude, that is just on my top. Like, I had it on my, I couldn't find on any kind of, like, it wasn't on Discogs at all. That's, of course, where I started. And I looked at All Music, I looked at Amazon Music, I looked at Apple Music, I looked in eBay, talked to my jazz guys. Yeah. And then I read something, or somebody told me it was a Spotify exclusive. Which I guess they do, Spotify exclusive compilations or singles and albums. I don't know. But man, that is just a great collection, and that it's criminal that that's not on CD or vinyl. Because if it is a Spotify exclusive, that Albert Eiler is just, it's amazing. Okay, let's look at this other one. Gore shit. Gore shit. It's under the genre lollycore. I heard of Gore shit. I was on a noise compilation with him that came out. I think it came out in Australia or New Zealand, and we did that. He was just on there, you know. He was one of the Americans that were on there, and it was like a really noisy track. It was supposed to be like an extra tone compilation. I guess they wanted speedcore, splittercore, and extra tone. My track, I did 2 tracks. I did a extra tone track, and I did I just did like a harsh noise track, which a lot of people like the harsh noise track on there because they really weren't familiar with that genre. So the guy that put that out got a lot of questions about that, and you know, I think that was great. I think a lot of people checked out that whole genre from that, which was really great. And then my extra tone track, which I don't know, I guess really didn't stand out that much, but you know, I just wanted to do it, you know, and I felt good about it. And then if somebody wants me to check something out, I used to say, make me a mix, send me a CD. And that went from, you know, shoot me a messenger, and, you know, I'll check it out. Now it's almost just like, just tell me, and I'll look it up on Spotify. You want me to check it out? Just let me know. And that's where it comes to some of these things here, like Death Grips. I know I'm pretty late to the game there, but they're pretty awesome. And there's a rapper, JPEG Mafia, who, you know, I'm still getting, kind of still listening to stuff from him. I am a little bit slack in there, but pretty cool. And then there's like the new Ika Mouse album, which is Put Food Upon the Ghetto Youth's Table, which I have not been able to find, but maybe I'm not looking that hard enough. I don't know. But I got to hear the whole thing on Spotify, and my buddy Damien told me about that, and I went to Spotify. I asked him where I could get it. He was like, I was listening to it on Spotify. So that's just where I went. I think I tried to look it up on Amazon, and I couldn't find it at that time. I have to revisit that, because that is a solid album. That is a really good Ika Mouse album. I really like that one. And then there's just stuff that I don't have. Negative Approach. I mean, I got like 1, 2, 3, 4. I got like 3 or 4 Negative Approach stuff on here. Some of it's live. Some of it's early live stuff. Got stuff like the later stuff by the Nihilistics. Got some by the artist that goes by the legendary Stardust Cowboy. Try to bring it over. I don't know if this is gonna be able to be seen or not, but I'm gonna try to kind of do it like this, because it's just a lot of me blab and not a lot of showing. But I do have an episode coming up, you know. It's kind of a pop band I used to listen to called Funeral Oration. There's No Effects. I used to listen to No Effects a lot. I've seen them live a bunch of times, so I got like all the stuff that I listened to them up until I stopped listening to them, which is probably about 2002. So you got like, let's see what we got. So Long and Thanks for All the Shoes, Pump Up the Volume, Heavy Petting Zoo, Pumping Dubrick, Two White Trash, Two Heaves and a Bean, Ribbed, S&M Airlines, Animal Liberation, Longest Line, The Decline, 45 or 46 songs that weren't good enough, and War on Errorism. Now, War on Errorism I never heard, because I was out of them by the time that came out in 2003. But it was cool to kind of like listen to that. Yeah, that's, and then stuff like I remember, but you know, it's been a long time. Like the Frogs, the Shags, some Pere Ubu, Seed of Six, which is I think nephews and sons of 3 6, Juicy J, DJ Paul maybe, Born Infamous. I don't can't remember exactly. The Ministry, Dark Side of the Spoon. I used to have that. Gore's Violence has arrived. That's very similar to NoFX as to where that came out, and I was just like, kind of already out of it, but you know, I still have all my Gore albums up to about the year 2000, 1999, 2000. This came out, I think it came out around that time, between 2000 and 2002. I did have the opportunity to buy it one time when I was out. I think I was at a Best Buy around that 2002, and I didn't pick it up. And I really was 50-50 on picking that up. Now it's pretty. Now the CD of that's pretty rare, and I'm not spending $30 on it. Not bad. Got some Slayer. What else do we have? And I'm messing up again. I guess I have to use this. What else is substantial here? Just some stuff that I'm not able to fucking just buy all the time. Frank Zappa, Mothers of Invention, Slug Christ. Get back into the hip hop thing, or Betty Davis. Sign of the Times from Prince, which is a solid album. Which Masters of Reality, which I had back in middle school. This is my favorite Black Sabbath album, which I used to have and have not bought it back yet. Coming soon, I hope. Some Dennis Brown, Alborosi, Gangsta Boo, Lachette, some more Frank Zappa stuff. Red Cross, DMZ, Iggy Pop, Project Pat, Crime Wave, Gary Newman. Some Gary Newman stuff that I was on the fence about. Some Lord Infamous stuff. There's a bunch of that on there, which is kind of... Here's one produced by Lil White. That's it. And that one's rough. I think it's called Back from the Dead. The Deadly Proverbs. Ooh. It's a weird Yellow Man compilation called Thief. Some John Cale, because I don't have any John Cale in my collection. Black Sand. That's an interesting one, spelled BLVCSVND. Very cool. Seems to be like very much a precursor to the alternative trap stuff that we've been hearing. I've heard of him before. I heard of a lot of the other artists that I've been listening to a lot, like NASCAR Allo and City Morgue and stuff like that. And he was one that I was listening to even before Triple X Testion or whatever. And then we got some Lou Reed, some Philip Corner, Fire George, who I released on my label, Dancehall Neil Tapes, Fire George, through the artist named Cola Cola. Excuse me. Got some End of the Yard album from Ken Booth. Got some Natty King, some Squash, of course, naturally. Cola Cola. Got some Can albums. Some Costas. Some more Slayer. Some Adam and the Ants. Some Live 1977 UK subs. Some Alan Vega. So here's some stuff that I will put on here that I haven't bought yet, like the Alan Vega. I don't have any Alan Vega solo stuff. Just the first two Suicide albums and some live Suicide stuff. Bunch of Mad Cobra compilations, which, again, and some Dillinger. I don't know, Dillinger and the Mad Cobra stuff might be exclusives. I don't know. And then there's stuff that I just couldn't straight up afford, like the Suicide Commandos make a record. And at the time, the Art Attack's Outrage and Horror, I couldn't afford that album either. There's Merciless. I think it's his second album, Mr. Merciless. It's classic. I just haven't gotten around to it. Like, you know, you can't get everything at once. There's a rapper I really like named Old Jack. It's more kind of like the 3-6 vibe. Like Kill a Pimp and 3-6 Mafia kind of vibe. There's a really good King Stitt compilation, which I guess, again, is an exclusive called Reggae Beat. Again, if you want to talk about exclusives, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never seen these. Big Youth Special, and Big Youth Speaks. I mean, I would love to have these in my collection, but I've never seen them exist outside of Spotify. You know, so I think that's really cool. But I wish I could have them in my collection. But it's really cool just to hear them, and I think all the exclusives that I'm talking about, I think were done really well. Here's one with Seth Putin from Anal Cunt. The band is Full Blown AIDS. I haven't seen that one either. I know that's out there, but I know it's also very high, so to be able to go through that is cool. Full Blown AIDS. And then the Cortinas, GBH demos from 1977 is amazing. Cortinas, the Punk Rock Anthology, Money in My Pocket from Dennis Brown, No Man's an Island, got King Daddy, Daddy Yankee, Alan Vega's first 2 albums, Lil Ugly Mane, Missed the Thug Isolation. I actually had bought that album up north. It only came with, it's a double record, only came with 1 record. So I ended up selling it. I think I bought it for $7 or $8 just because it just had the 1 record. I sold it for $40. And, you know, when I want to hear Lil Ugly Mane, when I want to hear that album, I'll just put it on my Spotify. Ain't no big deal. No big thing. Some more Gary Newman. Some Ghetto Boys, Scarface from the Ghetto Boys, the first Cure album, 3 Imaginary Boys. I got some Mento stuff that I found, again, exclusive to Spotify. The Best of Mento and Calypso, Mento Mania Volume 1, Roots Mento 1951 to 56. Very cool. 1951, man. Nice. I mean, I have some stuff. I have some Mento stuff that dates back till probably like the mid to late 40s. And then, you know, you're not going to get anything that you're really going to want to hear before that. As far as Jamaican music goes, I have it, but it's a lot of religious stuff and a lot of NAMBLA drumming and stuff like that, which is cool, and a lot of revivalist stuff, which is very cool. But you know, I mean, it's cool, but you're not gonna grab it on a random Friday night with your 6-pack of beer and sit back and put that old Jamaican revivalist stuff on from the 40s. You're not gonna do that. At least I'm not going to do that. You might. You know, and if you do, I think that's cool as hell. But I'm not. Got some De La Ghetto singles. Oh, they were so good, too. I got Rising Above from Anthony Selassie. Very good. Another exclusive from Dillinger, Reparation Now. Science Magic Logic from Lee Scratch Perry, which I've never seen that either. I don't know. I definitely got to go through this now. The Man with the Mission. That's a G.G. Allen live. That came out, I think it came out in France, 88 to 89. Not essential, but pretty cool. I would suggest listening to it. When I want to hear it, I put it on my Spotify. A bunch of Lou Reed. You know, a lot of Dennis Brown too. Clearly, this is not in alphabetical order. Let's bring it back up. Let's see what other Lou Reed I got on here. 6 Feet Under. Wow. Yeah, 6 Feet Under. Don't tell anybody. But yeah, I am a Chris Barnes fan. I just really do like. I gotta check my time. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, let's go for about 5 more minutes. Ish. I I don't have any. I don't have a lot. I actually don't think I have. If I had to go through my collection, my record collection, and pick out a death metal album, I ain't got it. Not even close. But if I did, it would definitely be Chris Barnes era Cannibal Corpse, and maybe some 6 Feet Under. And I'll probably have it before I turn 40. Well, I'm pretty close to 40, but it's like so much in here. Like, I don't know. There's always something to get, always something to tweak, and I got the record store now, so it's, I haven't been ordering a lot of, records. I mean, some records, if something comes out and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to get that record, I'll order it. But, as far as, I'm not ordering like I used to just because of the store. I mean, stuff will come in the store and I'll just be like, mine, or like a collection will come in and I'll be like, oh, let me get that record or that record, and I'm not. And plus, I'm buying collections. We're buying collections at the store. Like, I mean, last week we went through our whole budget in 3 days buying collections. Somebody came in on Thursday. Somebody came in on Friday. Somebody came in on Saturday. 3 days in a row, and we bought their whole entire collections and blew out our budget, blew out our monthly budget in 3 days. So. And then somebody still came in the next week, and I offered them what I could, and I bought a bunch of Beatles books, and I got this book for myself from that Dolly. Very good stuff here. This is pretty cool, and I hooked the dude up, but he had some good stuff. I do not keep the best stuff for myself. A lot of people have accused me from that. I don't. If I see something that I want for my collection, which is rare, by the way, that is rare because I have kind of a weird taste in music, as you know. I will keep it for myself. But I will always, if I want to keep it for myself, I'll always give it a week or two. At the max 2 weeks. At the very minimum, I'll keep it out for 10 days in the store. So even the best stuff that I'm just chomping my fingers off to get, it still goes on that shelf, and you still got a week and a half to get it, to 2 weeks. As much as I want it, I'll still give all of my customers the opportunity to get it. And it happens sometimes. I still don't have a copy of Cosmic Slop from Funkadelic. I mean, I've had 3-4 of copies of that record come in, and I'm like, I'm taking that home with me. But you know what? I give it 2 weeks. I give it a week or two, and every time I put it out, it goes. It goes within a week. And I don't have a copy of it, but I will. I will. Even if I find a copy of it on CD, I'm happy with that. Because like I said, Dancehall Neil, he collects his CDs too. CDs are like this to me, man. Just like vinyl. So, I know we're going to do, sorry. I'm going to let you go, but next time we're going to do a episode of, my top 12 favorite albums of all time. Update. So, see you later.